Here I am, standing in front of you, wishing my fingers could move faster across your fretboards, wishing my hands fit more comfortably on the edge of this pickup. I swear, you've been a part of me since that time I realized that the loudest sounds echo through the chest as if we are both instruments. I had not the space for you then, so I tucked your name away, held it quiet until the day I saw you and could no longer deny. These days, my fingers smell like metal strings and machine heads, and I smile, 'cause I ain't never known an art like this. I'm not all too good at an art like this, but I smile because my first love was the sea. So I've been writing for years, because I learned that I could, and then at a certain point it became that I had to. I applied for Youth Poet Laureate because I thought I could, and I didn't know if I ever believed that I would get here, but I am here. And it's all because of the writing that I've been doing and the life that I've been living and the losses that I've been taking. It's made me me, and it's brought me here. But I smile because my first love was the sea, as deep as these bass tones. They seem confused when they see the built as if they expect me to leave my vocal cords and bass amp on mute, but nah. We turn up and recite the names of everyone we've lost. I think of Brianna when I play a B note, second fret on the A string, first chord of my heart, for we are both instruments, for they are a part of me and you are a part of me, and we do not forget these names, your name in this life. It's taught me that the sin I've known ain't even sin, that there is no paradox in a black Muslim girl with a bass, a pen, clay, and acrylics. These frets are made for ink-stained hands, hands in prayer, hands in salute, don't shoot. I have always been deeply disturbed by injustice against anyone, but the state of black people in this country has been just a visceral anger that I have toward it. And so what I do is try to dedicate my time and my work to fighting against that. These frets are made for ink-stained hands, hands in prayer, hands in salute, don't shoot. I believe in God, memorial, and music, power, blackness, and worships, and this be protest. Here I am, standing in front of you, a blue bass named Ocean, reflecting on sound and sea waves, counting tempos, counting names, 1, 2, 3, 4, Emmett, John, Brianna, George. I wish for a world in which they are still living. It was actually based off my relationship with my bass guitar and my relationship with people who have been lynched historically by the police or civilians as well. And so I kind of figured out a way to weave that all together, and I addressed it to my guitar. And you know, sometimes you write a poem and it kind of just exists in front of you and you're like, oh, I'm not sure I actually wrote that. Oh, so that's kind of how this one is. But I really love it, and it's brand new, but I feel like it talks a lot to my own identity. 1, 2, 3, 4, Emmett, John, Brianna, George. I wish for a world in which they are still living. I wish for a world in which my love for you and skill were the same. I wish for a world in which everyone walks fully aware of their own heartbeats, knowing that we are all instruments.
was amazing. Greetings, good people. My name is Risikat Okedeyi. I go by Kat for short, and I will be your host for this Sensei session that we're about to have. Shout out to Word Beats in Life and the Word Power Festival, where we are celebrating National Poetry Month within a weekend full of feature performances, special appearances by WBL students and legendary arts instructors, as well as out-of-the-box open mic events just for you. So if you're just tuning in, if you're not familiar with all of this, you just kind of found out about it, head over to wblinc.org/word power for more details. So speaking of legendary art instructors, I have the specific honor of bringing folks that I have watched do their thing in the scene for years. It's really an honor to kind of stand in space with these brothers and sisters, because they have been doing amazing work, and not only for themselves, but they continue to do their work by teaching. And so today you all are going to get a sense of, and that's my cat acting cool, you're going to get a wide range of poetry styles from some of the most amazing folks around. Today we have Raquel Brown. What up? You're muted, boo.
I'm on. Hey, Kat, you sound like you're scratching over there. It's like
do I?
Yes, it's loud.
Listen, I am a live stream expert. I try to.
Now it's not.
Okay. I wonder what was going on there. It might have been my cat.
But I am Rob Brown, though.
You are Rob Brown, and I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank
we
you.
also have Pages joining us. Come on up, Pages.
Pew, 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 pew.
Y'all are the greatest. Love
We're
it.
gonna be silly today. Welcome to the stage, Pages. How are you today?
I'm beautiful. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Your bonnet beautiful.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Bonnet Zaddy.
Holding it down.
Absolutely.
That's the thing.
Yes.
Somebody. Okay, Weston is that Derek Weston Brown? I don't know who that is. But, okay. And next we have Bennie Herron. Hopefully, I'm saying the last name right. Bennie, welcome.
What up?
That's that Sensei stuff.
Right. That's Sensei. I'm not hyped right now. Next we have the good Alan King. Welcome.
Hey, great to be here.
Got the flash on, ready to do this thing.
Flash in the building.
Yo, your background is fire. Like,
that's a Neocon. That's a Neocon's piece up there.
Nice.
Yep, I can see the pencils. All right. Then we have Patrick Washington. Woohoo!
So
out here with the gray thing up on the chin there. Go on there, bro.
Okay. Salt and pepper daddy. Okay.
Right. Looking relaxed, moisturized. This is what it is.
Ooh.
I'm getting there. I'm getting some on the side. I'm getting there, bro.
Listen, I tell mine to go away. I hide mine because they're disrespectful. Slangston Hughes is in the building.
Lang.
Well,
Don DeMarco.
There he is. Good afternoon, sir.
Coming at you live from hopefully better Wi-Fi.
I love it. And last but certainly not least, rounding out this amazing magic group of 7 is Greg Corbin. Greg, I saw him.
I did. He was in and out.
There you
go. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm trying to figure out, first of all, hey, everyone.
Hey, Greg.
Good to see some familiar faces on here. But I'm having some issues with my camera, and I'm trying to figure that out real quick. If y'all see that.
Yeah, we see. Well, you'll get it.
We'll get him back in there.
Yeah, we'll get you back on there. And the
beautiful. Y'all see me?
Yeah, there you go.
Woo! Show.
Just Greg.
What's up?
Welcome to the Sensei Cypher.
Yes.
All right, so the way we are going to do this is that we're going to do a round robin, which essentially means that I will introduce each poet for this first round. They will offer up. Oh my God, my cat is really strong. Harlem, stop it. Yes, my cat's name is Harlem. Shout out to the Renaissance and Langston and Slangston. So we're going to do a round robin. I'll introduce each poet individually. They will do their thing, and then the second round they'll just go for it. All right, so. We ready? All right.
He's still scratching. He's still scratching.
Oh my God. My cat is acting a fool. He has a cone on his head. So he's like.
Okay.
Yeah, he keeps. Y'all, I don't even understand right now, but it doesn't matter. Slangston is up first. aka Slangston Hughes, is a national slam champion based out of Baltimore, Maryland. Shout out to B More. He's the director of youth poetry at Do More Baltimore and lead coach of the world champion Baltimore City Youth Poetry Team. His work has been published in the Poets America anthology via the Cracks Creative Writing Center. Slangston has also published his first collaborative literary work, Writer's Alchemy with prosaist Devlon E. Waddell, as part of EMBODY, and most recently released a collection of his poetry that spans nearly the past 2 decades. Please give it up for Slangston Hughes.
When they come for me, the first thing they see will be flames. We have been burning since we got. We have been holding fire since birth, dying to open our hands and let the wind speak for us. My language is burning tongue, open wound and blackened sun. I am dead man speaking. America, you are mouth made of maggots. We scream with corpse-filled cadence, another poem pregnant with bloody ink and brown broken bodies. I wrote this poem already. I already wrote this poem. My writer's block is stained in the blood of my people. So these words that burn beautiful, that scorch the earth they bury us beneath. Coffins caught in my capillaries, graveyard in my chest. Heartbeat is crematory. My soul is on fire. And America, you are next. The moment we get tired of all these black poems is the moment we become complacent with all this black death. Another artsy as literary art. Tired of holding ride workshops in the morgue with hashtags as prompts. Yesterday, I tried to meditate, and all the mantras sounded like madness. Sounded like my mouth mumbling over melanated names made martyr. The ancestors won't speak to me because they're too busy with orientation. How long before I have to write the same autopsy for my own? Before I'm forced to wrap my family and friends in a shroud made of metaphors and write their names on it? Before they have to pick a pen and edit my body? And I will not ask your government for help. No, I will not pray to your God for protection. Fuck that nigga. Oshun disapproves. God disapproves. Ogun and Obantala demand fire. Truth. Shango said, you ready to let them things go. It's time to take the targets off of our bodies and put them on theirs. June Jordan's poetry haunts my daymares, asking, what if time they kill a black boy, we kill a cop? What if for every black life taken, we burn a city, we engulf a center in flames? Our history is a history of being baptized in this country's love made lighter fluid. And if I too am America, then we're gonna burn together. We're gonna light this motherfucker on fire, not because we would watch it burn, but so that maybe it will finally see the light.
Yo,
That's the way you open that up.
Well, amazing. Wow. Thank you, Slangston. That was fire. Jeez.
That's how you open it up.
I start seeing this too heavy pepper today. Well done. Okay. Alan King is up. Yeah, I will switch in and out. Just be ready. Alan King is up. He is the author of 2 books of poems, Point Blank and Drift, a Caribbean American whose parents emigrated from Trinidad and Tobago to the U.S. in the 1970s. He is a husband, father, and communications professional. He is a Cave Canem graduate fellow and holds a Master's of Fine Arts in Creative Writing from the Stonecast program at the University of Southern Maine. King has been nominated multiple times for Pushcart Prizes and Best of the Net selections. He lives with his family in Bowie, Maryland, and blogs about art and social issues at alanwking.com. Welcome, Alan. You're up.
hey. All right. The Land of Innocence. This is for my soon-to-be 11-month-old Jade Rose, and it's also for George Floyd. A YouTube clip shows a protest ignited after police killed George Floyd, torched SUVs, overturned cop cars, armored officers retreating. All of that sinks my wife into a deeper postpartum, having made it through our personal crisis. We watch the python of despair coil itself around America, blowing out glass storefronts and colliding angry bodies as the tension constricts and crushes. We're miles from the mayhem, but a different kind of danger finds us in the maternity ward. A decreasing heartbeat, frenzied nurses rushing my wife to the OR, surgeons scrambling to save our daughter. Watching the news, I'm reminded of slogans on chaos as necessity. Real discoveries come from chaos. Chaos is beautiful and full of fertility. But when it's a violent pattern of reactions, what's the real discovery? Where's the beauty in things shattered and tagged if the same pattern of injustice ripples our lives? So maybe chaos isn't the right word. Let's try instead challenge. And since it means refuting the truth or validity of it, isn't a protest a public dispute of someone else's truth, like the one about the fear of dark bodies, how it justifies us being mangled or discredited in news cycles? Wouldn't the beauty then be new laws that get us closer to becoming the people the Constitution claims it protects? Let me begin again. When my wife told me several months ago she was pregnant, we knew the challenge of this birth could take her life, just as the challenge in a hospital threatened our daughters. And isn't it an act of faith to go blindfolded into the future and be delighted by the light there? Now we're lit by a dancing star named Jade, short for Jarisola, which in Yoruba means come into wealth. She's jade like the green stones said to emit wisdom and clarity. I'm feeding her while watching the YouTube video. Someone on screen yells, "We're better than this," and she squeals, mouth dripping with her mother's milk, smiling while dreaming her baby dreams. That land of innocence where it all starts before we lose our way back, rationalizing our destruction.
Yes, thank you, Alan. Woo, blindfolded into the future. That's gonna stick with me. That was amazing. Thank you so, so much. All right, next up in this amazing group of 7, we have Bennie Herron. Bennie, am I saying your last name correctly?
Say it how you want.
Okay. Originally from San Diego, after taking your bachelor's in psychology from San Diego University, Bennie Herron, hopefully I'm saying it the right way, went on to obtain his master's in social work from San Diego State. Most recently, he received an MFA in creative writing with an emphasis on contemporary poetry from National University. Congratulations. Bennie has performed in venues across the United States and Mexico. From the year 2000 through 2006, he was a member of the nationally recognized poetry collective, the Taco Shop Poets. In 2012, he published his first full-length poetry collection titled Greens, published by Tinterbox Independent Press. Take it away, Bennie.
Where'd you get that from? Okay.
Listen. Talk to the people. I'm just the messenger, sir.
All right.
Is it wrong? What's missing? What do we
nothing. No, I just said a one sentence.
Right, I saw that much later, so I went with what they gave me.
It's all good. Welcome, my children, to the truest place on earth, a place where the gift of life is a mere grain in time, the mosaic for a tribe called conquest. You ask me why we do life like this? We don't know how to do the damn thing any better. We on some don't stop, get it until it's all gone. The science of our future has become a sore neck and back. The masseuse is a fez-wearing school system controlled by a fearful veil of freedom traders. They traded mine for their own and gave Europe a new name. The ghetto wears a halo made of Bibles and beer bottles. It's a mirage, an oasis of deuces and diamonds. Niggas running on courts, talking about that same old hoop dream. It's an MF and lie. We travel in a place with our D's in the dust, who riding in the wind of a bounce on a new plantation. We travel in 64 chariots in swing with the lowest, aiming our bullets the highest. This is the dirty land of the gorilla and the misconception of a false perception. We didn't land on the ghetto landed in us. We regurgitate angel dust in mathematics, eat and then die on the same corner. This nation was founded by players and pimps 7 years ago. You see, I am the hustle. How do you think I got here? F. James, you better be and make sure your word is bond, because that's when a semi-automatic vocabulary will blow your head off. Pow! Your ghetto pass revoked. That's why I don't say anything. I don't say one word. My man is 50 grand tight with the beat, so anything I gotta say, I say over the music. I disguise my shit. The ghetto's a new sun. This ghetto's got a different sun for its shine. It's like one of them diamond-studded suns with bezels and bullet holes. You know, the one with the platinum joints with Chris and them hanging out behind it. You know, the one that got hit on the 4th of July. They didn't do it on purpose. You know how we get down on holidays, going off that act right juice, dancing and singing, and the next thing you know, bullets are flying. And where we be at, any and everything is a potential target, even the sun. Shit, my man be slinging fatherhood on 30th and Imperial, but niggas be like, nah, man, I'm cool. I just say, no, dog. I tell him if he really wants to get high off it, become a man first. Then that's when we start to feel the best sensation. And the runners, this place is full of runners, the fastest runners I've ever seen, but they don't seem to be going anywhere. What they running from? I watch them run to church, run to the liquor store, run to the taco shop, the club, the bus stop. Look at them, run, nigga, run. They running on a concrete treadmill. You see, we age different. We get stronger as we get older, developing a tough skin for a tough world. We slap box with poverty and go fist to cuff with reflections of our reflections. Death always brings us together. Some don't just hate the players, some hate the whole damn game. So the closeness is always sometimes false, but not always. It still be feeling good though. It's something about seeing a bunch of us looking and smelling all good that makes you feel real nice. But let's be real, it can also mean some drama's about to pop off, because these fools will flip in a minute. One minute you trying to talk to a little female, and then the next thing you know, you ducking behind a car. I know this is our madness, but it's our madness and your madness. We got the power to stop it or create it. You see, we create shit, some good, some bad. We are the creators in our heads of clouds of consciousness. We come back and then come forth, and you know what? Above our heads, we see this American pie. That should be sweet potato, because that's what my mama makes. And my mama raised they mamas. That effing apple pie, that's my mama's recipe anyway. She tended the soil, planted the apple seeds, watered the trees, picked the apples, boiled the apples, and baked the pie. Then some man sat down and said, that's the best damn apple pie ever let anyone bake for me. Shit, not nowadays. Niggas be like, damn, a slice. We want the whole damn thing. We want the whole damn slice. We want the whole damn pie. Or our appetite is on fat. The hungrier we get, the more we eat, and the louder we become. It's like we eat slavery and defecate hip hop. We wait for it to back our backs off, but we let off 2 rounds so we can run around and get DOWN, because that's the way we get. That's what my niece be saying when she be cheerleading behind blood with the dirty khakis. I be like, move, homie, I can't see. But it don't really matter. I don't watch the games anyway. I ain't really into games. I'm tired of the games. All niggas do is play games. We either trying to start some or spit some. We don't foul out of most of the games anyway. We don't eat or sleep anymore, because what we mean, we take over, and this game is over. So we walk back and drink only 4 teas, but these 4 teas are only 40 ounces, and that's what they made us, 40 ounces of blood. We sip sap from the bones and call it Old E, and that's exactly what this shit is. Some old ass English. And that apple pie, that's my mama's recipe.
Okay.
Shots.
Nice.
Okay.
Moto.
Wow, that was
Okay.
this. Okay,
Listen,
thank you.
that was a
Hold on.
bomb.
Hold on. What he put in here? Slangston put in here. He said a halo made of Bibles and beer.
That line, woo, and the runners. Shout out to the runners.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Sensei magic is happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Before I introduce the next poet, I want to remind you all that enrollment is open for WBL spoken word and performance poetry programming. Poets from the ages of 13 to 19 can join. Poetry classes on Wednesday evenings with our next poet, Rob Brown, or experience DMV slam with Pages, who will be part of this program today too. So you'll get to hear from these two master teachers every third Saturday. Get more information at wblinc.org/slam. So, Ra Brown, my girl, this sister's bad, y'all, but y'all know that her first name is Ra. Emmy-nominated writer Raquel Brown is an author, mother, teacher, and student who's been performing for nearly 20 years. Her philosophy is that everything is poetry and everyone has a story to tell. Raquel currently the Guerrilla Literary Arts course known as the Poetry Ensemble through the organization. She currently runs the Guerrilla Literary Arts program known as Poetry Ensemble through the organization Words, Beats, and Life. She is the author of The Alpha Woman's Bible, a semi-autobiographical empowerment piece, and has been heard on multiple collaborations with musical artists such as Raheem DeVaughn, among many others. Take it away, Ra.
Yeah, where did y'all get these bios? Nice.
Listen.
Thank you. I appreciate
it. Nice, right? They brought them together.
I don't name my pieces, but if I were to name this one, it would be called Daddy's Girl. I have a confession. Used to wish my daddy was behind them bars. Would give me a better understanding of why he wasn't around and why I spit so well to the beat of these scars. Why I rhyme my conversations with transparency, currency, and parenting. This flow be all I know. Now I see he knew bar stools and drooling over white shit like crack his sneakers and white women. My tab stayed open though as a rule. Liquefy the linguistics since you can no longer smoke a spliff, social sipping. I mean, temper your shit. Nah, an addictive personality belong more to those trying to be in my pocket. My daddy closed his tab out at his children. NA was more not applicable where we were concerned. He learned judgment where I learned discern. So he punished himself at every turn. Seems as if he went right, though, he left willingness to learn something about his offspring. Maybe that's why I feel so off every spring. When new things supposed to bloom, I'm trying not to feel some kind of way about how I think this is just a time men come out to play. Ain't nobody taking shit seriously today, it seems, not even me, forgetting somehow that I could choose. Prepared more for the game than the win, like how to play, how to stay in it, and how to lose. My daddy taught me finite street shit by virtue of his double helix. I learned the rest right there in the mix, like God and gangster ain't so different. He born with the swag and the dip that had many women on his hip. Angels in his throat made it easier to croon his way in with those a little more difficult. My mama was swooped up pretty quick by both, her being a little green. Her mama's broken English and family mode on Philippines didn't leave room for my mama to say more than she was seen. And the black magic in his skin, abracadabra the sin, insane, and disdain right out of my grandmama because she could be mean. Meanwhile, they fell for the love story. Conceived me and a new story began that didn't include him till I was a grown woman. Life showed me early the meaning of let go, but life taught him when it gets too hard, just go. I don't know the ins and outs of his story, where he ended up or why he rode out. I know that I have a natural pull that makes people want to know what I'm about, why I speak so soft, why I myself don't find it hard to just be out. I know that the angels in my throat wear G-strings. I know that everything ain't always as it seems. I know street between sheets and beings, both bitch and brave. I know I'm a spirit experiencing human things. I know my daddy fine and I got it from him. My mama's beauty, though, is why I don't hate him. I imagine that fatherhood did more than scare him, and the foster home more like a halfway house did nothing to prepare him or the world for a boy that had a girl that gave birth to a girl from North Philly. I imagine it took him till I was grown to really come up for air. I imagine his life for a while faced his effed up decisions, and life imitating art brought a great deal of derision. And although I added to his life, I know mine was created out of division. Learning to stand still when everyone else runs is a fool's curse. When you're already a fool, though, what could be worse? I learned to be a boss so that I can celebrate my wins and stand up for my heart and not on my hands when up against loss. To logically explain to my emotions that my pains are just as unpleasant as carrying a cross, I imagine my father felt he had one to bear, even if it came across more like he couldn't care, not that he didn't. I learned everything for a reason. Shit may be just a season. I'm the ugly, beautiful, broken pieces of what has been created and destroyed, but this lifetime, I don't blame him. I don't expect explanation, and I don't want his repentance, because though not behind these bars, he ended up in my sentence. And this is my penance.
Woo. Man, if I had money, I would just start throwing money at you. That was amazing, Ron.
I think so. No
Woo!
doubt. Indeed.
The angels in my throat wear G-strings. That
Yeah, they do. You can hear that, can't you?
you can. It's real smooth. You know, it's real smooth. Oh my goodness gracious. If you're just tuning in, this is Word Power by Word Speaks of Life. This is the Sensei session where we are sitting in space with these master teachers who have been doing this for quite some time. And you can tell because y'all are amazing. It is an honor to be here with all of you. Next up, we have Pages, the motion picture poet. He's an interdisciplinary artist, event coordinator, and educator, born and raised in Cameroon, then Washington metro area. Currently living in Los Angeles, Pages is a pleasure activist, word to Adrienne Marie Brown, with work centering Black queer liberation, a polyglot, national poetry slam champion, and anime fanatic. Pages is working to create poetic dramas that center vibrant Black characters and their stories in a way that is fantastical, gritty as it is let me say that again. Their stories in a way that is fantastical, gritty as it is joyous, and culturally competent. Pages, it's all on you.
Oh man, thank you so much. Thank you, and shout out to everybody that's been spitting so far and that's gonna come and spit some more. Definitely want to also say I great proponent of minding your own business, drink your own water, abolish the police, and decriminalize sex work. With that being said, I would like to offer a quarantine medley. Adina Seba, l'anglais lingana titi. Mwende na di pa bol pa l'anglais. L'anglais n'est que ma quatrième langue. English is only my fourth language. It is the baby of the family. It is the one my mouth spoils, favored by default, who may one day be sold off by all of its siblings in hopes to never return because all of my other tongues have grown so jealous. In my country of Cameroon, we have over 200 dialects. That's over 200 ways to say love, to say family, to say I belong to something that does not want to kill me, that does not want to siphon the gold from my flesh or the stories from my bones. So I run because we all got to run sometimes. Got to stretch a meal from a moment sometimes. Got to escape sometimes. Got to fall in love with the ghost of us sometimes. Ain't no better fall sometimes. So we all got to run. Soul to pavement. Got to become the wind sometimes. Got to be nonstop because can't stop, won't stop. Got to churn the gears and regain the years sometimes. Call it healing. Call it people are not wounds, just wounded. So you got to make peace with the demons sometimes. Got to look at the reflection and say yes more times. We all got to run sometimes. We gotta keep your wheels turning sometimes, make axles out of a tree and bloom eternal sometimes. Gotta be the love we wish to see sometimes, but ain't love scary sometimes? Ain't love the monsters under the bed and in the closet and the church on fire sometimes? Don't it make your blood boil? But praise to the body all times. Hallelujah to the fat flesh full of itself. Gotta shout out to the oat, the honey in the name of I made it out alive sometimes. I made it out alive this time. Had to learn the new language of loving my own body. Your body speaks in wind, both violent and gentle in a sway that can shatter the soul or soothe the lightning beneath it. So breathe, even in these moments when it seems like life is missing, but you are no amber. Stay alert to yourself, and all of the love and fire that you become. You are as essential as the poem living inside of your body, a free verse, because when every day becomes a battle spilling from the blood-dazzled mouth of greed and laws and oil and bones and flags and shell and triggers and borders and the countless unnamed heroes who swallow it all for us, and spit us out a charred rainbow. I swallowed once too, and she called it a poem, and he called it a clusterfuck. And funny enough, they are the ones who came out a birthing of bitch, what? And fine, and a new glow and untouchable. There is no death here, only a frothy resurrection. I told them, make a song of your name, as I have made of yours. Do not go quiet or gentle. Live in all of your loud, because this world will feed on silence and call it mercy. But for some of us, poetry is how we cope with the aftermath. For others, poetry is the weapon for survival. A time machine and a kiss be a linchpin, a selfish dimension. It is where our intuition goes to grow a garden or just look at the sky and say, wow, I did that. I'm the one who taught the universe all the kinky ways to achieve a big bang. I kissed the sun and said, let me cook for you. So I stirred an ocean full and the earth began to bend over, showed me what it's working with. And we worked and worked and work until the work became a bouquet of jonquils. Sometimes you gotta gift yourself flowers. Let the buzz of your own touch pollinate your skin with a dance that reminds you why you are still alive, and say, wow, wow, I did that. Thank you.
Wow, Pages did that.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
Pages. So glad you came after me, bro. No, that was dope. No, not because I feel some kind, but I'm glad you came after me like this. I like that.
It was a nice,
That
like,
was dope.
it's a twofer. Wow,
So
that was amazing. What did you
Yeah,
say?
that's definitely not the kid I met in the library in Baltimore in like 2008. Definitely not the person. Definitely not that person.
Slangston said it's the frothy resurrection for me.
It was the world will feed you your silence and call it mercy. Listen.
What do you say, Alan? You are no Amber. Stay alert to yourself. The wordplay. Right?
Oh man, that was killer.
That was great.
So just as a reminder, Ra and Pages are the instructors WBL has for you if you're interested in spoken word performance poetry.
I mean, if you are.
I mean, you should be. And WBLinc.org/slam. You can find out more there. Poets age 13 to 19. Like, come on. Oh, my goodness. All right. I mean, this is what you all are doing. So this is where we are. All right. Next up. Amazing. I'm still kind of blown. Patrick Washington. My brother. Yeah, you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Known Patrick for a minute now. It was nice to get that call. I was like, oh, look at this. Number's still the same. Staying, doing your thing. Look
Same
at all
number, same hood.
Well, let me tell you about Patrick Washington. He was forged in Washington, D.C.'s vibrant arts community of the mid-90s, finding his voice on D.C.'s famed U Street corridor alongside writers like Sister Joy Alford, Ta-Nehisi Coates, and Jason Reynolds. His early work has been published in ROM Publications, Life Through Black Eyes, and his most recent work can be found online in the Beltway Quarterly. As a member of the hip-hop spoken word duo, the PoMCs, he often defies convention, melding spoken word with dance, theater, comedy, and more. Recently, Patrick was named director of the DMV area's Youth Poet Laureate program, giving young people the opportunity to collaborate with city officials and serve as poetic ambassadors for their community. Take it away, Black Picasso.
Word. We're very happy to be here amongst all these friends and talented artists. And yeah. I'm gonna keep it short. This is for Trinity. Reading the bottle in the kitchen, my daughter asks, Daddy, what's virgin olive oil? And I responded, virgin oil comes from olives that love their father. Oil, so perfect, it really shouldn't be touched. Usually held like lullaby, top shelf of cupboard with a magical seal to be enjoyed only through the glow of sunlight and glass. This bottle should remain tight like tension of awkward dinners until the perfect occasion. Ask Dad when it's time. And even then, I will bring the bottle down. Hand it to one born of a constellation that probably doesn't exist yet. Until then, don't think about using it. This oil will only adorn the heads of newborns you ain't met. I lied and told her its olives can only come from the faraway land of Coradenza. And I totally made up that name. Unaware that Cora was the daughter of Zeus and Demeter, forgetting in Spanish, I'm actually calling her my heart. In Old English, my chorus. And the suffix denza means jazz in Trini or to dance in Italian. The crater I've now dug is too massive to climb out of, so it's holy oil, baby. It's what the archangels used to shine their trumpets. I couldn't believe this shit I was singing. So I know she didn't. That's why she began to blur. So I stopped and told her, you could have Googled all this, Then said, virgin oil was created with all of the love that two people could muster. It's the difference between warmed over echoes or a pot bubbling with laughter. It's only natural. One would notice your shimmer, pull you into them like a song's first breath. Not one who forces the top open or talks the cap into spinning off. No, it'll be one who cares for the ingredients as much as the packaging. There will be a hiding place that you create, a secret annex for the two of you. Your temperature will rise.
A gentle bomb will go off, and one day, prayerfully, if you bring them to me, I will give them more face time than I was ever afforded in their place. This is no longer a metaphor, and you are no screen for me to replay my past transgressions. I'm gonna be okay, I promise. Not my will, but your will be done. Whatever you decide, God will be involved in all you do, because she was there when we met. Baby, your contents are worth each and every one of my remaining breaths, and I know you, and only you, have the power to anoint.
Power to anoint.
God is a woman. Love it.
Black Picasso.
Yes, Black Picasso. Over here, masterpiece. And that was amazing. Thank you so much. I'm rounding out our first session of yes. What'd you say?
Pages is so, I would never look at olive oil the same. Pages is silly.
Neither will I. Like it was amazing.
There are other uses for it too, but that's another poem.
Hey.
Okay. Hold it now. Okay. Wow. Thank you for that, Patrick. Rounding out this first cipher is Greg Corbin, aka Just Greg. He's been a teacher and poet for over 15 years, impacting over 50,000 students through his travels as a civically engaged hip-hop educator. The founder of the Philly Youth Poetry Movement, Greg helps young people build confidence and activate the power of their voices through creative writing and storytelling. Greg has graced the stage with Michael Eric Dyson, Black Thought, and Sonia Sanchez. And his new book, Breathing Ashes, A Poetic Guide to Walking Through the Fire and Coming Out Reborn, is available now on Amazon. Oh, there you go. There you go. Get that. I will be making my purchase. Love the cover. All right, Greg, it's all on you.
Gotta unmute, Greg.
Greg, you need to unmute.
Thanks, y'all. I'm the old man now. I'm the old man. It's a pleasure to be here, first off, and a pleasure to listen and hear. Working on a project around climate change that really looks at the corresponding relationship between human beings and the planet, and taking some of these poems I wrote about environmental justice and putting them in the play. And so this piece I'm gonna do is it's a piece called Water. So here goes. There is something in the water. There is something in the water. Maybe it's the resurrection of Lazarus, or maybe it's the resurrection of Jesus Christ, or maybe it's Malcolm X spliced with a little bit of water. There's something in the water. Lead poisoning, rickets, calcium deficiency, osteoporosis. Man, we need to get focused, because the same people that pollute the water and drop chemicals in the water clean up the water and sell it back to you. Making sure you have no choice but to drink the water, take showers in the water. Yes, there is something in the water like blood and sweat and tears, blood, sweat and tears, blood, sweat and tears, bodies of a slave ship, bones that drift, blood on the surface of the same substance that was used to cleanse our sins. I know there is something in the water. 365, 24/7. Seems I gotta believe in 100 religions to get to heaven, but I know there is something definitely in the water. There is definitely something in the water. There is definitely something in the water. They're buying up all the water wells and selling all the oil wells, buying up all the water wells and selling all the oil wells. You think you're paying $3.75 for a gallon of gas? Wait until you're paying for $50 for a gallon of water. These rich pioneers don't care about poor people's tears. They're buying off the water wells and selling all the oil wells. People will be standing in line for the water, taking their time drinking the water, but they will not want to share their water with you, and me. You'll be making tough decisions like, yo, son, what do I buy? That dime bag of hydro or that $10 bottle of hydro? I mean, what's more important, smoking weed for dehydration or drinking water for rehydration? But the truth is idiotic, egotistical nation is constantly wasting the water, while third world nations like Haiti, where Haitians really have clean water, we are still fighting over water, where they're still shooting over water, and most of us won't even drink the water. Taking 2 shots of vodka, a cosmopolitan, some Bacardi 151, some Henny on a crack rock. You tell me what's worse, the liquor or the water? People still voting for Republicans. Yeah, I know there's something in the water. People still voting for Democrats. Yeah, like there's something in the water. Like we ain't got the power in our hands. I hope you understand. Maybe it's the resurrection of Lazarus or Jesus Christ coming back. We are the anointed ones, the chosen daughters and chosen sons, chosen lungs, breathing underwater, speaking in tongues, capturing the Holy Ghost in. So fight. Water is light. Water is spirit. Water is life. Water is music. Water is a human right. Environmental injustice is the new gentrification. A wave tide of liquid genocide, drowning the country lines, threat, poor, those with a darker skin tone, like they don't deserve clean drinking water running through their homes. It's difficult to drain the swamp of a contaminated Congress when it's full of tainted souls that use human necessity as leverage. When property value becomes more valuable than human beings, when they turn water pipes into pistols and ammunition becomes lead poisoning, when corporations will disrespect sacred land for the sake of fossil fuels. And the people got to swallow tear gas and eat rubber bullets to take a stand with Standing Rock because our spirits use prayer to interfere with the evil that men do. Think, do, or say. So fight, so fight, so fight, so fight, so fight, so fight. 12-year-old got shot by the cops with a BB gun. Nah, over a BB gun. Son, did you say that? Son, we ain't done. They left that body out there for 4 hours like it was a public lynching. A knee in the back, don't taste so good. And neither does the water. They are monetizing our trauma, capturing death for the frame, commercializing our drama, constantly taking aim. Death is big business, especially when it comes in all black. Dressed at funerals in all black. What if water came in all black? My father's in the water. My sister's in the water. Malcolm X is in the water. Nina Simone is in the water. Billie Holiday's in the water. DMX is in the water. Tupac's in the water. Yes, they're all in the water. Yes, they're all in the water. Ella Baker's in the water. Fannie Lou Hamer's in the water. Ashe. Miles Davis is in the water. Ashe. Marvin Gaye is in the water. Ashe. Lorraine Hansberry's in the water. Ashe. 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 Ashe, ashe, ashe. Water is gold. Water is the new oil. Water is gold. Water is the new oil. But our bodies are made of 75% water. Our blood is 90% water. We are the water we've been working for. Yes, we are the water we've been searching for. My father's in the water. My sister's in the water. Yes, my father's in the water. My sister's in the water. There's something in the water. There is something in the water. There is something in the water. There is something in the water. There's something in the water. So we will breathe. We will breathe. We will breathe. Because we are the water we've been searching for. Yes, we are the water we've been searching for. Yes, we are the water we've been searching for. Yes, we are the water. Ashe.
Greg.
Oh my God.
Oh. Wow.
Hey.
Senseis. When the senseis gather, what happens? Before we go into our next round, I wanted to make a couple of announcements, and I had a question. So just to let everyone know, the WBL Combine is happening in June. The Combine will be a virtual decathlon of specific wordsmithing and performance events designed to test a wide range of skills such as writing, freestyle ability, and public speaking, which will be judged by WBL instructors and other artists. The events will run the range from improvisation to paper clipping, to bilingual poetry, to public speaking, monologues, etc. Keep an eye out for the fun. If you don't already follow WBL, please look for Words, Beats, and Life on all of the major social media platforms. You can also, it's followed, there you go on the bottom. You can also go to WBLinc.org to sign up for the newsletter to stay abreast of the action. So I have a question for all of you. How does it feel to be here in this moment, having done poetry, having done what you've done for so long? What does that feel like? Did you think you would still be doing this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was born to do this. I was born to
Greg. This is for you, Greg.
But you all are your contemporaries, your peers. I mean, what is it like? Because you are technically now moving into the space of old heads. You are the senseis. You are the teachers.
Never.
Never. Someone said never.
I will always be a student. I will always be a student.
Oh, yeah.
But you're still a teacher. People are learning from your pages.
For
and I'm
sure.
not saying, that you give up being a student, but you all have you put in the life work. So I'm just wondering how it feels to sit in this space with each other, because you all remember each other when some of you were just getting started, and I think it's kind of surreal personally.
Yeah, I'll say this event, like all of us sitting here, is an example of the rewards that come from the journey of poetry. Where poetry takes you, the people you meet through that experience. So if I had to put it into a word, I'd say right now I feel honored to be in this mix. So good.
Yeah. Thank you, Alan. Slangston, go ahead. Slangston, you frozen?
He is.
Okay. Well, he'll come back. He'll unfreeze soon.
I would say that some feelings up best with a quote in my. I hope I'm not.
Okay.
Oh man, not again with the freezing.
Yeah, you're breaking up, so we're missing a lot of the important.
Hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Maybe. Wait a minute. Let me go back to the other spot. Wait, you hear me now? Am I good? Hello?
Yes.
It's gonna turn into a Verizon commercial.
Oh. I would say that my feelings would be best summed up with a quote by Captain James Tiberius Kirk at the end of Star Trek, as he looked down the Genesis planet where they left Spock's body. I feel young as when the day is new. And Savick said, "Is that from a poem?" And he said, "No, it's just something special."
Okay.
I love it. Thank you. That's.
Yeah, it's like
wow.
It wouldn't have been right. It
would not have been right. Yeah. And this is why I love being here.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Greg, I think you wanted to say something.
Except in my case, Spock would be Olu Butterfly.
It's funny. I'm actually watching the old series from beginning to end. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Shout out to Star Trek. They had some interesting issues and terrible sets. Anyway, Greg, what were you going to say?
I just want to say, I've come to honor the role of being an elder, of knowing I have like just understanding that sometimes people are ready to hear what I have to say and sometimes they're just not, and being okay with being 10 or 20 years ahead of, things as like a practicing futurist, that's a tough role to be in sometimes because you really want to help people and get them to see it. But everybody has to be in the space to receive it on the time. So it's all about timing. And I honor the role itself. And every elder has an elder, even if that's beyond the beyond.
Not being around people for as long as we have in the settings that we are accustomed to, I'm just inspired. I love to hear this level of professionalism, if you will, of writing, of poetry, of poets, of spoken word. It's inspirational to me. I'm sure I'll write a lot today. So I'm glad to be here.
The only thing I have to say is I hope this doesn't end. I'm not originally from this area. I'm originally from Southern California, West Side. But I would hope that out of this beautiful event, this gathering, that we could do something like this more regularly or more consistently. I was just making some notes myself. I'm like, man, this is a journal. Like if we all just submitted 2 poems and put it together and move forward, this is strong, and I feel really honored, and thank you for seeing something in me that would allow you to invite me here.
Hope you're taking notes, Mazi. Poetry Journal, WBL. Let's go.
This is dope.
Adding more to your plate. This is amazing. So for this next round,
Ra, you remind me of what it would probably be like to talk to Sonia Sanchez and
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Because when you talk, everything really is a poem.
Thank you for that. I've heard that often. Not the Sonia Sanchez part, so thank you very much. But the way I talk. Do you talk in poetry? I'm like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Angels in my throat with G strings.
They were G strings. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Who wants to go for this? Who wants to go first for this next round?
I
We're gonna
can-
wrap up. Let's go.
Go back around the same way. Yeah.
Well, yeah, same order.
Same order. Okay.
Slangston, you got it, babe.
All right, Slangston, you're up.
Okay. This is newer shit. This is called griot slang. Moonlight and high tide in our veins. A middle passage filled with hurricanes screaming in a black woman's voice. Even an ocean couldn't wash away our blood. What makes you think your whiteness can wash away history? White people calling my poems angry is like lighting a fire in a forest and being surprised when that shit burns. The black of my poem too loud to live in between the literary of your white pages, like how our mother tongue made orphan inside our own mouths, so we make the king's English blade to be hid with, like we ain't poem in the flesh, like our hearts still beating despite all the death around us, ain't the loudest revolution you've heard yet. The way a mouth tries to move mountains with metaphors. These ain't poems, more like a shotgun propped up on my lips. But heaven forbid you be too black in classrooms where professors will attempt to edit the melanin out of your stanzas, where passion and rhythm are synonymous, well written, or not diverse enough in tone, or too divisive in tone, or how about I write a gaslight and make you question the sanity of your tone, metaphors too militant to be considered canon, so you take aim at what you don't know. This polemic not palatable enough for the academy to hold, so when the personal becomes too political, our stories aren't allowed to have a home. Cracker, please. Fuck out of my face with all that mayonnaise flavored ass prose trying to be poem. Dark skinned in my mind, so I write dark skinned poems, nigga. The gangster of my speech, nigga. This poetry got teeth, nigga. And I'm going to eat, nigga, 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 nigga. Say it 30 times a day, it make my beard grow bigger, which is to say, nigga, as in black joy, as in void of whiteness, and all of the shit, our skin replenished by the sun while you run from it. You say you don't see color, because if you see colors, you'd have no choice but to admit the difference between the prisons and the prisms within them, the earth and the snow that melts in it. Oh, I'm sorry. So many metaphors. The difference between the colonizers and the colonized, the color of lies and the truth they try to hide. Yet you want me to ignore the race in my work the way a shark wants its prey to ignore its mouth and the teeth within it. I'm sorry. Again, we poets with our metaphors, or the way grant money becomes suddenly available after city blocks burn, or how Baltimore got ignored until our voices turned arsenic, until our prayers got mislabeled protest, riot in our breath, how Freddie Gray made the difference between black and white in the city so obvious. It's not hyperbole when we say black don't crack. And this with everything from whips, bats, and crack, we still ain't cracked. Warning, triple entendre on the way. From birth of a nation to gentrification, no matter how much white they put in the hood, the heart of your history will always be black. So the next time you try to limit my literature, just remember how lit this shit really gets. A burning page in every quote, break beats and smoke, a Mary Baraka and Black Chaka in a group piece called Dope. I'm Frederick Douglass with a black wife and a rhyme scheme inside every speech he ever wrote, a hand grenade in my throat, ready to fire to every white poem ever he wrote. I don't even care, nigga.
Yo,
The colonizers and the pollinizers.
Get bigger.
Frederick Douglass with a black wife.
Damn.
Yo.
There was some parts in that piece.
Wow.
I want to see that so I can
Crazy said with a black ass wife. Ah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God,
Camera
that was
broke.
fantastic. Pew. That was amazing.
I think I broke my camera.
Pew, pew, pew. Okay. Yeah, I do love the idea of doing this more often so I can just do that sound. That's Alan, you're up.
All right. Beacon. An intern asked, "Aren't you scared?" And you remember the hospital clerk saying, "What you're doing is courageous. You do what you have to for your wife whose life is leashed to a box, cleaning her blood before spooling it back into her body. It does what it has to because her kidneys can't. And weren't they courageous, standing their ground before lupus took them out? Its gluttony left you scratching your head, lost in this new life, the one that marks you donor and your wife recipient, the one where the transplant centers another turf to navigate, this life, where words like renal failure and nephrectomy, seizing your new tongue. You watch your wife sleep while the machine chimes and beeps, remembering the intern's question. Of course, there were moments that gobbled your bravery to a morsel. The emergency room visits, lupus nearly taking her out. And isn't she the courageous one? How she welcomes each day, even those where grief is the overcast sky. Those moments when the only light is a heroic heart, blazing these dark streets, winding beyond the mysterious and unknown.
That's black love right there, Alan. That's black love right there, bro.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that, Alan. Oof,
That's dope.
it's taking me back. Benny,
Hey.
what you got?
All right. The world is too hot. The mountain is too high. The president was too black. The system has not changed. The beginning is too near. The sound is too loud. The song is too loud. The voices are too low. The pain is old. Rivers are too deep. The children grow too fast. The past is too close. The present is too far. Mouths will not open. Legs will not walk. Prisons are too full. Lungs are too shallow. Days are shorter. The truth is, arms are not wings. Heaven is too high. Trust is too meaningful. Money owns flesh. Fear fuels actions. Waking up means knowing. Knowing means seeing. The book is too long. The struggle is inside. The war is somewhere else. The beat is too fast. The hand is too close. Men are too quiet. The social worker is too tired. The caseload is too full. The resources are too thin. The client is too afraid. The method is too distant. The prayers are too selfish. Bigger is better. Yours is not mine. Crying is too weak. Mothers are too lonely. His is not hers. Hers is not his. Pain is winning. Winning is controlling. What was above is now below. Yours is mine. Mine is yours. I always thought babies came from dancing. I owned every color of corduroy pants. They called me fire starter. I ran the fastest on my street. I had the biggest afro. I knew all the latest dances from the WAP to the Cabbage Patch. I had game at football. My new Pumas were hand-me-downs, but they were still fresh. I saw Beat Street 6 times, Electric Boogaloo twice, and I knew every word of My Radio by LL Cool J. My radio, believe me, I like it loud. I'm the man with the box that can rock the crowd. Walking down the street to my hardcore beat while my JVC vibrates the concrete. I'm sorry if you can't understand. I need a radio inside my hand. Don't mean to offend other citizens, but I kick my volume way past 10. I refereed every fight I instigated. Let me say that again. I refereed every fight I instigated. I went to school with bloods that staple cuffs into their khakis. I thought everybody had a coffee can full of cooking oil on their stovetop. I thought America was Al Green slapping us with his whales under a velvet love painting. I thought all little girls wore too tight ponytails with greasy sideburns. I thought everybody had ashy knees and played hide and seek under green utility boxes and street lights. I thought I could go to the Olympics for kickball. I just knew everybody ate pickles with blow pops on the inside. I thought we could all sing and dance. I thought everybody thought Isaac Hayes looked just like Santa Claus. My favorite Kool-Aid was the red kind. I thought everybody's pastor had a perm. I thought all little boys liked the little light-skinned girl in the back with the good hair. I thought everybody had a little white boy for a best friend. I thought everybody put Lowry seasoning salt on popcorn. I thought everybody thought what I thought, because I thought this was America.
The Lowry season on the popcorn, though, bro.
Wow.
Giving away secrets.
Don't give the white people our secrets.
You know what I mean?
Old Bay seasoning. Old Bay.
It's gonna end up on TikTok. Watch.
Put my glasses on.
All right. You ready, Rob?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. I come from the city. The brown and black of faces that sweat through winter, same way they sweat through labor, both modern day slavery and babies. I come from women of color, of light and sound. From women that ask permission of the trees before cutting them down, that pray and think simultaneously, that practice the difference between know and believe. I come from sisters that beat their feet because their hearts are hollowed out tombs, black like the skin of the children they buried deep in the dirt, wrapped in white sheets. Children's bodies ID'd by eyes that will never again see the world the same. I come from those women called bitch by men that thoughtlessly take their Lord's name in vain. I come from women of Orisha, those that name their boys baby boy Shango and after their great uncles, that were born themselves amidst gunshots and poverty, dipped in chocolate, sprinkled with cowrie shells. I come from women that know hell and decorated its walls like they tatted their necks and arms with musicians and instruments and magic, with tradition and children's faces, with their mamas' names, with the mamas before them, the ones that would string their pearls with the memories of former lovers, women that carry their burdens like crucifix while prepping your last supper, born of headhunters, wrinkled-skinned, smooth-tongued women that run men through jungles and nurse babies on breasts long like their lives. I come from those women. Those that know well their hind parts, that know how well something may end before it starts, or middle, like parted sea. I come from the many women that brown like me in the extreme heat, and between bodies that crescendo and mute their climax into mime at the same damn time, women that have mastered the art of rhyme, but will store their reasons in a purse. Bring it to me. Don't you dare go into mine. I come from playground to playing around with shit that can make you an early grave real pretty, forever young. I come from loins and love too green to have seen the other side of conceive, deliver, raised girl, but still a girl somewhere between worlds where boys love their grandmamas and flirt with death, but they love us like first breath, and we love them like our daddies never left. They love the hole we leave in their chest, like locket and movie ticket and gum on shoe, like the many poems that we'll never recite. They love the you ain't even trying to be, and it doesn't matter who they're with. Doesn't matter the other children they share with another, because I am mother and miss a mystery, the one that walked and still got away. I come from those women, neither peaceful nor wild, but beast, and survived by girls that look at a world that will punch them in their teeth, show them what it means to be angry because we can't breathe, and they will bleed on men that will call these women to pick up after them. I come from smiles bloody, whispering through cracked tooth and bubble more. Or is that all you got? I come from trouble like the waters Retha serenaded the land about. I come from hoodoo women who do because they are a creative force of will, who know the city's ills and the mudslides of Filipino hills, that know what you put into anything must come out, so offer love or a shotgun. They will try to love her back while they bosom her being into submission. Knees bended because they will never really know God the way she does when she prays behind tightly closed lids, dark like her soul but knows God herself. I come from women that know ass and assumptions because we fine as hell, but we know more ugly. And at least here these boys will pay the rent. I come from those women.
I love you, Ra.
Thank you much.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to the women indeed. Oh my God. Ugh. Goosebumps. All right, Pages.
Word.
You ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Transmogrification spell before the rent goes up, or it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that go-go swing. It goes doo-wop for the black mamas. May they smile like Benning Road before the Starbucks grew teeth. May Duke Ellington's trumpet cough up the South Side and Marvin Gaye's voice choke the skyrise out of Berry Farms. May the white plague of false kings and thieves who build chic glass empires with the bones of go-go be haunted by Chuck Brown's guitar. In the name of the children, the homies, the hood and all the ghosts, in the name of being at home and alive before and after the streetlights come on, before and after they said the revolution would not be televised. Instead, it will be played by Scarlett Johansson. Hear me out now. The sunrise is a promise to turn your wounds into daffodils. Your heart is as loud as blunts forcing trauma out of the body. Ain't the tree still beautiful, even after its limbs gave birth to a swollen poem? Ain't the ocean still glimmer in waves, despite the wild dream bottom? If the answer is hallelujah, then may the only thing dripping red from the meat be mumble sauce. May the ohm of pop gum laughter and swinging black girl locks be a speak in tongues majesty you cannot steal or mugshot. May the body bag have an upset stomach and give all of my niggas back.
Ooh.
More fire.
May the body bag have an upset stomach. Yo, all right.
You people are
So we just gonna act like
just give me pepper for everybody. Just throw in pepper everywhere.
But
Okay. Well done, sir. Well done. Patrick, because I have nothing. You ready?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. More fire.
Man. All right. Yeah, I'm loving this, y'all. So this poem was written after a tour. I was asked to participate in a residency at a plantation. Woodlawn Plantation is over in Alexandria, Arlington area. Shout out to the Voices of Woodlawn. And I wrote this after taking the tour. I am not being led through these genteel halls. I'm being pushed. Each threshold crossed feels like praise forced through a fearful throat. The words of our guide ease out with reverence, as if the echo could actually slap you. And as they deliver their careful sermon, I wonder, was God ever inside here? The wood smells of elegant care and surfaces so polished that any particles daring to show up would undoubtedly slide off to the floor. After all, we are not here to see dirt, are we? Like a troublesome teen, I stand in places longer than I should, reach for delicate items I know I shouldn't, and nothing happens to me. This tour, though informative, ignored certain queries like, ma'am, are the brick and mortar walls thick enough to muffle the moans of the people outside? Did they ever use the same cross-stitch sewing style from these gorgeous pillows to close the skin of the disobedient? I walk out the ravenous front entrance, and after 200 years, the Corinthian marble at the door still looks as if each slab had been carefully laid there by angelic hands, and they had. One more question, ma'am. Did the masters of Woodlawn ever realize just how close they were to God?
Real question.
Yep. I've been to that space because Hadia had a thing. It's hella weird. It's really, really weird.
He said it's hella weird. I know that's right.
It's like, okay.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Students there time. It's like, this is wild.
Yep. Thank you, Patrick.
Dopeness.
All right, Greg.
I'm gonna ask the panel real quick. What do y'all want to hear? Do y'all want to hear something in celebration of someone, or do you want to hear something in celebration of the community?
Community.
Community, yeah. Take us up.
Okay.
Yeah, word.
So I'm gonna read a piece. I'm gonna read a piece from the book called "The Meal Inside: Ode to the Food Desert." We often forget we do enjoy these things. Don't want to be on camera, but opening the door. And so here it goes, and it's think about your favorite foods growing up. The brown paper bag became almost see-through as our fingerprints walked around it from securing the meal inside. It was 4 chicken wings and French fries, both drenched in a world of ketchup and hot sauce. The sky was midnight heavy, and the sirens in the hood were blaring like a soundtrack of chaos, welcoming the comfort. I recall my aunt saying, I couldn't live in the city. It's too much violence. My response, I couldn't live in the country. It's too much silence. There is something about city folk that appreciates the loud noise and the unpredictability of violence and conflict. We walked Broad Street a little after 12 a.m. smiling, discussing the girls we had crushes on and the ones that reminded us of boogies. Yes, boogies. The ones that clinged on to you, but you never wanted to touch them. The cement pavement littered with loose fast food sandwich wrappers everywhere and shattered broken glass, reflecting the glimmer from the street lights. It looked like the shine of night was having a conversation with our eyes. We smiled and walked. We smiled and walked some more. We laughed and we laughed and we laughed and we laughed and cracked jokes on one another with no interest in the noise around us. This was normal. We were in our own world built of grease-soaked fingers that continuously threw chicken bones to the ground as if it was ritual. As if ritual couldn't have sounded better. We washed down the French fries with our favorite sodas, usually a Coke that would give us a smile and sometimes a Tahitian treat. And yes, we licked the satisfaction from our fingers while standing at a traffic light, wondering why it tasted so damn good.
Yes.
Bro, I have not had a Tahitian treat.
Listen,
Man. North Philly, like, man.
I was like, Tahitian treat.
Man,
Yep.
I can't do it because it'll kill me. But I'm like, yo, I remember.
That was the Tahitian treat was the favorite. I'm telling you.
Tahitian treat, we didn't know what it was, like fruit punch soda.
Yep.
And if anybody wants the scene of that poem, the scene of that poem is between, if you've been in Philly, Broad and Champloss and Broad and Nedro.
Oh,
There's a police district that I grew up around the corner from. There is also a Checkers across the street, a Wendy's, a Dunkin' Donuts, a Roy Rogers used to be there. There's a Popeyes that used to be there. I grew up with every restaurant, fast food restaurant, literally half a mile from my house.
Your Checkers wasn't there when I was younger though.
Checkers came in like 1995, maybe. I remember I almost got a job at the Checkers at Broad and around Broad and Lehigh. And my dad was like, they gave me a job over the phone. They didn't even use me. Like my dad said, you ain't working there. That's why they gave you a job. They always arrived.
Dope. This has been great, y'all. Thank you.
Oh my God, this has been amazing. Just wanted to thank our, sorry, I forgot my notes. Just wanted to thank our senseis for hanging out with us. Please make sure you go and get all of the books. Follow Words, Beats, and Life on IG, Twitch, and TikTok. Thank you, Rob Brown. Thank you, Pages. Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Slangston. Thank you to Mazi, who's been producing on the behind the scenes, and all the WBL staff.
And thank you, Kat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shout out to Harlem.
Listen, he turns 1 today, so he's a little.
Harlem was on the ones and twos.
Yo, he was carrying on. I was like, you got to go in the closet, sir.
Right.
You're doing too much.
The cones and twos.
Take care, everyone. Hopefully, we'll see each other again soon.
No doubt.
All right.
All right, everyone.
Yo.